Guys, if you're new to my channel, just click the subscribe button, click that little ring ding dong bell, send me the notifications, save that, stay tuned for more videos, enjoy the content. What's happening YouTube, it's your boy DD Kills, and today is actually a different video. We're actually going to be talking about my car sound system, and a lot of you that's been in my car know my sound system is epic. So I'm actually going to go through my whole setup, and I'm going to talk about how I done it, and I'm recording it off my phone, so I'm hoping it comes out of good quality. But first of all, let's get a taste of what it sounds like, and just so you can see, this is actually on volume 10, right? So I'm just going to press play and let you hear the bass drop. Right, because of YouTube, that's all I could do. But it sounds pretty good, it's nice, it's low, it's deep, right? So I'm going to get into it. So we're going to start by talking about what I've done first. So the first thing I've done was actually change this stereo. So that was actually really, it was complicatedly easy. It was easy to install, but the wiring was quite complicated. So what I had to do, this part here, this actually just slides off. And then once that slides off, this stereo, you take obviously the front panel off, and then with the cage you got to unscrew the little bits that hold it in. Then that thing actually the whole thing comes out. But with the wiring with this one, because there's a red and white ignition, permanent live, sorry, the wiring loom from the car engine, when you plug in the adapter for this stereo to work with the manufacturer radio loom, it actually means that the radio constantly stays on. So, and because I had my sub as well, it meant that the green light was always on, so it would drain the battery constantly. So it took me honestly 2 days to figure out what the problem was, and then when I figured out how to solve it, so what I had to do, the back of the stereo, there's two blue and white wires. One of them says remote, so obviously that's for the remote wire for the sub and amp. But what I had to do is, because there was another blue and white, I had to actually cut that blue and white and then just connect it, and it worked perfectly. So it was actually such an easy solution, but I had no idea, and you know, trial and error. So that's the stereo part. Obviously I put a remote wire through, I ran it through the back of this area all the way, and then I'll get into that when I talk about the power wire in fact. So let's get out of the car. And I changed the door speakers as well. That one, these door speakers are actually quite difficult to change, because with this car you need to take this off, and then there's a part inside you got to take off, and then there's some screws here. There's one there, there's three underneath the car, there's a screw inside there as well. Some of them actually have it at the back, and that whole thing comes off. It sounds easy, but when you put it back on, that is such a tricky thing to do. I put Vibe in here, black air. They're really good. I think they're about 200 watts, and they're really powerful, 16.5 centimeters in that side, and obviously on this side of the car. So now let's get here and talk about my rear side. Now with the rear side, I also put speakers here. Now when I first got the car, there was nothing in here, it was just empty, there was nothing there. So I had to take this whole panel off, and that is actually easy to do. As you can see, I haven't actually put it back together properly yet. So all you do is you just literally pull it from the top. This is actually quite bugging. Yeah. Alright, pull it from the top. Then this seat actually comes out, just literally push it up. Then there's a little 2-clip thing, hold it together, out. Move this part forward, and I would actually do that actually to show you what I mean. Right, you can see this part there, the black circle, and once you take the seat out, there'll be another black circle right there. So what you want to do with that is just literally unwind it. Then this whole panel comes off, you put the speaker adapter in, and then you put the speaker in, and yeah, that's really it. So I've done that with both sides. I actually even put tweeters, which is quite fun to do actually. There's a tweeter mounted there, and there's a tweeter mounted there, and actually they are solidly on, it won't come off. And because of these speakers here, I was managed to use the crossover box to actually connect these tweeters. Everything is hidden inside nicely and neatly. both sides, so these tweeters give such an extra boom in the sounds of treble, and it's just really, really powerful. Let's get to the back, what all of you be looking at. Right, so before we get to that, I just put these in recently, the 6x9s Vibe Black Hair. We got 2 of those, and I cut the holes in my standard manufacturer parcel shelf. Now these speakers are actually good. It helps with a lot of the mid bass, and they are one of the best 6x9s in the market in UK. Let me just get the right UK. I think these ones offer 345 watts, and they are powerful. When I turn my sub off, they're still so powerful. You don't even need a sub, that's how powerful they are. So I put 2 of them there, screwed in, nice and tight. Now we move to the bottom part. Now this is the juicy part. This is the beast of a subwoofer, right? This one has 1500 watts, so powerful. It's better than the ones you get in the market these days, like better than the Vibe Black Hair 12, CBR12s and Evo Active. The reason for that is because of the enclosure. It's really good. It gives you that nice deep bass, and obviously it's got a porthole as well, so it's ventilated, as you can see. It says that in fact. But this one is really good. It's 12-inch sub, really solid, gives the best performance, deep bass, smooth bass. It's the best. They're really rare to find. If you find one, you can get it for about £80 in UK. But because they're so old, but yet they're so good, they're so rare to find. Then we move on to this one, is the actual amplifier. This amplifier allows me to run the 6x9s you see up there, and also the rear speakers you saw on my panel on the back. So that actually allows it all to go through smoothly. And yeah, it's on because I left my keys in the ignition, which isn't a smart idea, because if the key door closes, boom, I'm screwed. So yeah, those are connected to that. Wiring wise, it wasn't that hard. As you can see, I have wired it all. And this little beauty, if I could get it, there, that is called a power capacitor, also known as a power cap in most cases. Now this one basically reduces the amount of battery intake, battery that your car uses. So everyone knows when your car starts, you use the power from the alternator to charge the battery. So this is basically an external battery to your car, and this actually allows you, if you have an older car, let's say a Vauxhall Corsa like I did, then whenever the bass drops and it's a hard note, then the headlights will dim and flicker. This prevents that from flickering, and actually a lot of people disagree, but I have got it, so I agree with myself. This actually makes the bass note so much more smoother in terms of waves and stuff. And obviously all the wiring is connected to a bolt, so this is all safely nice and done. Now let's get into how I actually did it all. I can't really go into step by step, but all I can say is how I did it. Also, I will get these tinted out so no one will realize they're there. So the best way is to run the power cable first, because without the power cable you got nothing. So with my car, as you can see, the power cable's here, so I ran it all the way through. Because this car was so lovely, I was managed to put the power cable in there, and this easily pops off. So I ran it through there, and it goes up there. No, it goes all the way in, then it actually comes out from the back, as you can see the red there. And with this car, the firewall was simple. All you had to do was get a coat hanger, take this power cable around the coat hanger, put the coat hanger in first, and then the power cable follows through it, so that way it's not too big. And as you can see, it goes in so nicely, that way no water, nothing could come in. So as soon as you do that part, let's put this kind of back, then it actually comes off underneath here. And this panel, and by the way, this is all for a VW Golf Mark 4. It's probably the same, 90% of the same for all cars. This panel here, as you can see, this comes off. Once that's off, you see the power cable dangling down from here. You just drag it, put it through here, put this back on, and whilst you're doing that, the remote wire I spoke about through here, you let that go through, and then once it comes down, you run them both at the same time up to you get to there. When you get to there, just pull it a little bit more, close this up, Then you open this panel, easy, just pops off like that. You run them both all the way across there, all the way nice and smoothly. Probably have to do that. And then when you get to there, then you would obviously need to take this panel off to make it a nicer, cleaner install without wires hanging out. Otherwise, if you don't do it that way, then your wires will be dangling down from here. If you don't take this panel off, the wires will be here, and then they're easy to see, and if someone keeps stepping and stepping and stepping, the wire comes bare to the copper, and then obviously power and earth, if it hits the metal, it causes a fire. So the best thing is to make it a clean install. Take this off, this panel, run the cables through nicely underneath, so it's tucked in behind. When you get to there, this car seat moves up, so obviously this has to be off. Take it off, and then once that is off, you just run it smoothly in, and there's a lot of room under. Right, what happened was I actually got a phone call, so I lost what I was doing. For what I remember, this part comes down, and you can see all the wires are here. That's the power cap in greater detail, that's the sub. And all the wires are run over here nice and neatly-ish, but they're all underneath, so they're not in contact with this sub, so it can't cause any fires or anything. As I've experienced in my other video, I did talk about the burnout, but now I've bought a much thicker cable. So that's how to run that, plus the remote wire. Now that is that. And now in terms of the RCA, what I had to do is connect it from the back of the stereo, of course, where the input is or output, whatever. Now what with this car, it was actually so difficult actually. I had to run it all the way down to about there, and that panel comes off, so then I had to run it. Now there's this couple screws in this car, this part comes off actually, that part cigarette lighter comes off, and then there were some screws, and those screws were quite difficult. There was, this part comes off and the screws there. I don't know if you can see this, no you can't. But the screws are there, then there's some screws there on that side, and on this side going down. So then once all of them are off, this comes up. Once that's up, you run those wires nice and neatly down there. Once it is there, really simple actually. Once you get it there, you can then run the wire, and then once this part is up, you can run the wires through that carpet, go up. I can even feel the wires there. Go up. Once they're up, bring it up here, and then once they're there, when obviously these seats are removed, you come out here, and as you saw on the other side, they'll just magically appear. Connect it in, boom. How easy is that? Now if you do it this way, then you're guaranteed the best sound. If you do it the other way and you run everything down this side, then you're not going to get the best of sounds, only because power and RCA, same side, means signal loss meaning sounds not as good, and you're actually gonna get interference, which is annoying, which I had in my old car. So I learned from that mistake. I ran the power cable separate from the RCA, giving me the best sounds. I've actually got 3 RCAs running down here, 2 for the amp for the 2 separate speakers, 1 for the sub, and yeah, and if you want to run Bluetooth as I've done, so the black one there, that's easy. That A pillar or the B pillar, one of those pillars come off, so that little metal part thing there, so that comes off. Once that's off, you put the output of the wire there, put it down, and then once it's down from there, can't really see, but you got to put your hand through. Luckily I've got small hands, yay. Put it through, get the wire, drag it down so it comes there. There's a panel there, that actually all comes off. Once you get it, run the wire all the way across, connect it to the back of that, and that's really it. Then you put the cable back, panel back. Now I make it sound all so easy, but really it's not. This took me a while to do because obviously concentrations, new car, you got to be careful and all that. But yeah, this was an in-depth tutorial on my car sound system and how I set it up. If you guys want me to actually show you how to connect it, so when I mean how to connect it, I mean like, so the power cable goes into this and it goes into that, and you put the distribution block, blah 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 blah, then let me know, I'll talk about that. distribution block actually, because I've run one power cable, you put it into this block. The block comes out with 2 outputs of the power cable, which goes one to the amp, one to the sub. It's quite in depth, so if you want I can talk about that. Same with the remote wire, just let me know, we'll talk about that. But anyway guys, I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the sound system. In fact, I'm pretty sure you guys will. Just remember, rate, comment, subscribe. I'm trying out these new videos to see what you like. Let's press play. Adios amigos. Let's stop. Hey, brave.